So they'll be calling you a radical, so it's going to be a big day for me around here. We got some hope on the San Onofre so I'll be up there at the reactor, it looks like today. I'm going to meet with some PG&E, well, excuse me, some DOE, some of the people that are making the choices on that waste. So, I don't talk enough about this. I need to talk more. You know, on big sunrise, on sunset, I do my gig. I have my thing I go through. I've really never showed it. This routine, this meditation routine, how I survived AML, leukemia, multiple myeloma. I'm a 1%er. That's a Johns Hopkins 1% survival bracelet. You know, and my doctor says I'm the biggest. Vincent says this 40-year brilliant oncologist career, I'm the biggest miracle he's ever seen. I don't talk enough about this. The only reason I'm alive is because my anti-nuclearism, my stance. Vincent Hansen's a famous old anti-nuclear oncologist, the greatest. He saved my life. I had a stomach ache, just out of nowhere. Think about the timing of it all. Dad's due to speaking Zuccotti while going around big shanty, you know, my neighbor, mega dairy, spraying Roundup all over my house. I've been going psycho to the state. It's going to give us all cancer. It's going to give us all cancer. It's going to give us all cancer. And so, I got a stomach ache. Hardcore. Really bad. Food poisoning, I thought. It got worse. When it got where I call an ambulance, you know, I was puking. It sealed off so hard. Ended up being tumors wrapped around my lower bowel. I was puking bowel movement out of my mouth. And I'd heard, you know, I grew up in a family of doctors, blah, blah. And doctors misdiagnosed me. I mean, this quack. So I kept going back. I went back to Mercy 3 times. Finally on a Friday I got a female oncologist. And they had scanned me. They had looked at me, this derelict. Anyway, I was watching the Isaacson Steve Jobs interview in the waiting room in the hospital. I'd calmed down a little bit. She comes in, she was all teary-eyed. She says, "You got a really bad cancer. We're admitting you now." So when they admitted me, it was a Friday afternoon. Now I know that's when all cancer gets diagnosed. So people know something's wrong. That's why I really do believe Prince had leukemia. It's the same thing I was going through. But he's Jehovah's Witness, you know. He was self-medicating. So he sent me a check, by the way. By the way, before I forget, I sure could use some money. I mean, I got a lot of work to send off. I got a lot of work going on here. But anyway, sent me up the room. The oncologist, young oncologist was there. And I was all by myself. And he's like, I'm like, "Don't lie to me. What is it?" And he says, "It's bad. I've been looking at it. It looks like to me it's in your liver." And I says, "Don't lie to me. What do you think?" "If it's what I think it is, you'll be dead within 2 months." He said it just like that to me. How'd that one? Perfectly good help. Next guy come in, same thing. Daughter come up, she said, "I don't think." And I said, "Me neither. I had this dream. I had this utopic dream earlier that year. But, you know, my earwax had gone hard. Completely hard. I had a little bit of blood in my stool. Well, I didn't think it was blood because I'd been at Del Mar. You know, I've been drinking some dark beer. I like, you know. I thought, no, it's just my behavior. You know, and I thought I did everything right. I didn't. But, so, they went in there for a few days. Finally, a Japanese doctor. Well, before that, they scoped me. They went in me and they found a hole in my stomach. And they biopsied that and blamed it all on an ulcer. Sent me home. Doctor come in, this Japanese doctor, if I ever see that guy, got in a big argument because my little grandson and my baby grandson and my daughter. The nurse says, "Oh, they could stay with you. We'll pull another bed in here." She did. She knew what I was going through. It's horrific. So the Japanese daughter got pissed off, butting out of the bed. I mean, he was a real prick to me. If I ever see that guy, and I'm gonna fucking get him one day. I'll do the time. So, sent me home. I'm like, no, I was so fucking bad. Kept going on. Finally, they biopsied, which they should have never biopsied the tumors. And they biopsied it. Went in to see the surgeon on the biopsy. I'll never forget it. Oh, it come back negative. That was the biopsy out of the stomach. Then he looks and he says, oh no, he's just flashing. He says, oh my God, this thing's so lit up. This thing's live as bad. So, we're going to operate emergency. I mean, the only hope, God, I says, you're not doing that to me. My famous, Thomas Blanch, the famous heart surgeon, my family, he always told me, because I had an aortic valve, I was born with a bad heart murmur with defects. He's like, don't you ever let them open unless you're going to die. I never forgot that. No, you're not doing that to me. Vincent got involved. Hanson. Next day, San Diego nurse. Vincent hats off in Ogden, Utah. San Diego girl. She's good on the table in a biopsy. They bombarded. I found a YouTube video. I was in so much pain. This whole thing went on for 3 weeks. I was in so much pain. I went to the Huntsman. Huntsman Cancer Luxury Good of Death is still trying to sue me for $1,300 for a phone call consultation. Those fucking dirtbags. So, I'm going to call you in the next 2 days, as soon as it gets back. We'll kind of find out. Usually takes 3 days for all that to go through that process. His nurse called me back the next day. Says, you go to the bone marrow transplant at LDS tomorrow morning. That day would be 11/11/11. You cannot make it up. My 2 grandsons, 11, born that year. My pair of 11s, I've always had the same number 11. I'd had a preposition. So, it's important I talk about this. I went in, I'll never forget it when I went to see him originally. He'd known me since I was a child. And he says, Kevin, you know, my father and brother both died in central Utah of thyroid cancer when I was a boy. And I knew he was a hardcore anti-nuclear. But I didn't know Fimbo Peterson was at the top of LDS East 8, which the Danes are hardcore anti-nuclears. That's the only reason I got in. And he's like, so now that I know, I didn't know this then. I called him back, a nurse. I said, Bomar, it's leukemia. My father died of that. That's it. I knew. I just broke down. So, I found a YouTube video in the meantime, and I had 14 views. It was a pathologist. I've talked to that pathologist personally, saved my life with that video. For his students, talking about the pathologist getting wrong. He says tumors in the lower right mesentery of men are hard to diagnose. It's incredible, and he says, I believe they get it wrong more than they get it right. That's what my life, because I'm like, this pathologist got it wrong. He's got it wrong. I went to the pathologist. I said, you got it wrong? He said, never had one wrong in my life. And I'm telling you, I was in such epic pain. I mean, contractions like you wouldn't believe. And I was in shape like you wouldn't believe when this happened. Muscles from head to toe. So, I go in. I call back Vince, and he's all choked up. He's like, Kevin, you have a really nasty, horrible cancer. Don't you understand? But I believe in you. There's a doctor there. I'm not going to LDS. He says, it's under construction. I says, it's always been under construction. It's a shithole. He says, no, you don't know, Kevin. He says, there's a doctor named Fimbo Peterson in Denmark. I've talked to him into taking you. This nasty, now I wouldn't send a 50-year-old, but I've known you since you was a kid. Come to find out, he argued with Silverman. He put tons and tons of work into me. My anti-nuclearism. He knew me since I was a boy. I went in there, Vincent Hanson put me on, Fimbo Peterson put me on the top of the priority. He took me on personally. He would come to my room personally. You know, this is Danish philosophy rounds. It's maybe one of the most Maybe could be the most famous oncologist in the world. I didn't know he was there. He saved my life. They chemoed me 3 times. I want to do a 5 and bone marrow transplant. By the way, Marshall Jensen was in the room next to me. That's the first guy that got the HIV injection. You look at that case. Carla was in there with me, Kevin and Carla. Paul, my friend. A lot of people got sick right there. They're all passed. There's 44 of us, so I'm the only one left alive. It was horrible in there. Really horrible in there. Really. A nightmare. Lone pelican. Can't find any food. Searching. So the pathologists had dipped it in the wrong solution, so they backdoored it. There he goes. They backdoored it. They sent it out to dozens, if not hundreds, of labs. And finally they got a hit at the University of Nebraska. Of all places. Pathology had it wrong. It was just like I found. I thought maybe it was AML. They almost killed me. He says, if you'd have bed, so he come in my room. He says, Kevin. Vincent told me about the dream he had. You know about Danish philosophy? And I said, yeah, I'm a Danish boy. He's like, you hold on to that dream. He says, that's subconscious, and yours told you wasn't going to. Yeah. He says, yeah, I never felt like I'm an ace, and you're not going to die. Hang on. Because what you're up against. Remember when they beat me and put the sentinel line in my jugular vein and in my spine and in my brain stem? Yes, you're thick and you're strong. You got muscles all over you, especially through your upper body. You're going to need every bit of it for this fight. Now that's a fucking fight, and I mean a fight. It's gone on this whole time. You know, we're up my walk, but I came here and I walked the coast of California, like I've done so many times before, documenting the Fukushima catastrophe in our tide pools. And I fought for her, and she fought for me. I was too sick for a bone marrow transplant. A guy named Brad Morris came into my room. A doctor named Rob, a San Onofre doctor. He was one of Steve Jobs' doctors. Steve Jobs used to bring in teams. He came to my room. He says, I've called this guy. There's another guy. There's another guy. They sent home to die with AML de novo. He come into my room. I held on to his story. I want people to hold on to my story. You know, you did it for me, I'll do it for you. This has been a hard. I had $1 million, almost $1 million, $4 uninsured. You know, Mike Lee kicked me out Medicaid, literally tried to kill me. Literally, while I was in the fight. You know, I had open heart surgery this year. I almost died. Went to these hospitals. I'm bleeding because I had no insurance. I was done. What a journey, what a fight it's been, huh? What a big fight. But I fought for her, and she's fought for me. I come down here on the sea in the morning. I do it in the mountains of Utah. You know, I eat healthy. I'm very passionate. I never stop living. That's the key. I never stopped living for one day. Not one day. And I never took a day off. I juice. I eat really right. You know, I cheat. I make mistakes, but I walk. The bottom line is I fight for her. Mother of the sea, the ecologist, she fights for me. Ooh, is it cold? A lot of meditating, a lot of walking meditation, a lot. I walk, if you knew how many miles a day I walk. Sipping the soup can behind my back. My anti-nuclear is my fight with. I've been fighting San Onofre since I was a little boy. As long as I can remember. Without me, they never would have been shut down, ever. Without me, you're never getting that waste off the fucking beach, and it needs to go. So worst place it can possibly be. In those canisters, 1,000 times safer, and it's been for 40 years than those spent fuel pools, swimming pools, by a million fucking billion times. And these fucking fake activists that have showed up Johnny come lately and have delayed the process are not helping, they're hurting. It's simple. Beyond nuclear, public watchdogs now. Sierra Club sold out whores. I knew Al Sticker personally. My grandparents were friends of his. He's the guy that started Sierra Club. He was over in his fucking grave. They sell out whores. And I want to say this is real important. They're the activists that cost you. We've lost every fucking fight we fought, except for the ones Kevin Blanch has fought. The chance of me surviving this disease, he says, you're the only you're the only person I've ever known to survive it willingly without. Brian Moore survived it, unwilling. What a gem he is. What a cost him his marriage, cost him all his money, cost him, but he's alive. He's 9 years out. He's got issues. You know, he's got issues. People say, oh, you do it holistically. I did it holistically. I mean, I did it my way. You know? He's the best of both worlds. I saw the best, I saw the worst of both. I mean, simple. I made a deal in the bone marrow transplant center, not with God, with myself. If you let me live, let me live. Please let me live. I'll do the right thing every day of my life for the rest of my life. Let me raise my grandkids. Let me see my grandchildren grow. Let me see the ocean. Let me freaking see the mountains. Let me be what I've always been. I will fight for it. I will defend. You know, it's a long and hardcore battle. Because one thing I've learned along the way, the average American, United States American, is a selfish, disgusting asshole who deserves everything they get, then some. I mean, try to defend these selfish haters, pieces of shit. Our small group, thank you for everybody's support to destroy Cora. I've got to see my beautiful grandchildren. They call me Grandpa Boy. I'm very close with them. My two grandsons. God, is that some kind of traditional dance? Actually, we used to dance right here on the beach. You see your gypsy, my gypsy. No, we made it up. She's never seen anything like it. The numerologists, now we find 1% survivors are all about numbers.